Okay. Okay, I'm starting my Let's Play. This is going to be a homeless challenge, but with a little bit of a twist. I have to create a household and everything. This is also a neighborhood I've never played before. Mayfield Springs or something like that. I didn't know there was a Mayfield Springs, so I don't believe I downloaded it. I thought it was regular Sims content. If any of you have heard of it, let me know, but it was on my computer and it looks nice. I've never played it before, and there's houseboats. So I'm gonna play with Mayfield Springs. If I'm wrong about that name, I'll go ahead and post in the comments. But this is Frogsnack. Welcome to my Let's Play University Homeless Challenge. So I have to create my sim, who's going to be a young adult. She's going to be living off the land and not allowed to live at all in a dorm or anywhere else. And she can bring back anything she wants back to her house, but until such time as she has agreeable amount of funds or an actual job or something, she's not going to actually be able to have a roof over her head. She is going to be a kleptomaniac, but I have to go ahead and actually create her, so that should be interesting. And I'm going to pause on the recording for a quick second and probably just fast forward the creation, so you should be able to see it, but bear with me. Alright, I'm going to go into create a household. Alright, well, I've gone ahead and created our sim. And our sim's name is Ava Eldridge. She is a young adult human. Gave her kind of unusual colorings, gave her really nice brown eyes, blonde hair. Found some great custom content for the shiny nose and the foundation or whatever you want to call it on her face. So it's actually a makeup. I'm not sure where I got it from, but I absolutely love it. She's here wearing her necklace that was the last thing she has of her mother's, and despite the fact that her father left them and her mother passed away, she is determined to make it on her own. So this is Ava's story. She is a homeless sim. She is a kleptomaniac sim, but she wants to go to university, so she's kind of had to scrounge and scrape by and take whatever she can find in the wild, or just kind of eke out a living however it's possible for her to do that. Since her mother became ill, she was trying to take care of both of them, and of course she didn't want to be reported or taken away by the authorities or anything, so she wasn't very vocal about her mother's illness. And then when her mother finally did pass away, she fled and has been living homeless ever since. So Ava has just enough clothing items from Goodwill basically to make it to pass as a college student, and I'll just go through a little bit about her here. So as you can see, she's not very muscly, not a lot going on in the TNA department. She's just a very normal sort of girl, aside from being blonde, which came out I thought very nice. And what do you think about her hair? So if there's anything you guys would like to see be different, just let me know. Come up with suggestions. I am open to those things. That's not a problem. I'd love to change it up a little bit, but this one just seemed very fresh and very free, and I could see her kind of hiding her face from the authorities in it. So I'm not sure exactly what the rules are for this challenge because I'm kind of just winging it, but essentially Ava is not allowed to live in a house. She can build a house probably after she graduates university, but she needs to go to university. I'm assuming she's going on some kind of grant program where she is given money because she is so poor, but doesn't really have an address, and they probably didn't find that out about her. So she's going to go to university but not be able to afford to live in a dorm. She'll just have a tent or whatever I can buy with selling her initial property. So I think all the Sims come with like a camera, so she'll sell her camera or whatever and buy a tent and basically start with nothing beyond that. I'll go through her outfits here in a bit, but let's get into her personality. She is a charismatic Sim, so able to talk her way into and out of other situations. This makes sense if she was able to hide her mother's illness, that she kind of learned how to deal with grown-ups wherever she had to. She's a gatherer, so again, she comes from a place where she's had to just find out what was useful and grab it. I also think it fits with her living outside, that she might have to do the occasional little bout of dumpster diving, and even bugs and things are not beyond her for her to gather them and sell them. and use them for whatever profit is possible. Kleptomaniac, this is something I'd like her to grow out of, so if there are suggestions throughout the Let's Play of what she can grow into becoming, as of right now she's kind of, I like to think of her as a little bit too smart to be kleptomaniac, but at this point she's just taking risks and she has to do it to survive. So she's going to start out that way, but I don't intend for her to always be that way. Initially, I had her be a genius instead of a gatherer, because I thought it would be great to have a blonde be a genius. You gotta break some stereotypes. I don't like those stereotypes. So, and she looks pretty smart to me, actually. So, I mean, living on your own, you have to be pretty clever to do that. So I might change her from being a kleptomaniac to just being a genius when she gets out of university. She's going to go for at least 2 sessions of university, and I don't know what she'll learn there or what she'll need to learn. She's probably going to go for a business degree, but we'll get into that in a moment. She loves the outdoors, which is going to help her out significantly because she's going to be living in them, and she's perceptive. So again, tying into her story of having to sort of take care of herself, having to watch out for her mom, them not having anyone since, you know, she was young, and then having to kind of grow up almost as another, I'm assuming, parent to her siblings, but I have not created a family for her, but essentially it's either was her and her mom or it was her and other siblings. So again, suggestions appreciated, but for now I'm just going to make it that it was her and her mom. But she's going to be searching for a family of her own, so that's something that that's something to take into account. So she does want to be a pervasive private eye. That's something I've not really played before. I think I've tried it once or twice, and I haven't done a whole lot with Let's Plays yet. I've tested out this one, but not with this character. She's brand new to me. And I'm going to go ahead and save her. Let's see. Save her into the bin before I forget, because I really like the way she looks. They're beautiful dark skin. But, alright, so I'm going to go into her clothing real quick. So whenever possible, she's wearing her mom's necklace. She's actually in her swimwear right now, so let's switch to her everyday. This is her going to college look. I kind of like what she has on for her everyday, but this will just take a second to load up. And we'll do a twirl. There you go. The twirl helps change it. So she has some smart shoes, some ironic being stuck outside shoes. She does have her mom's necklace, and she's got a hoodie that was probably hers or her mother's right before her mother passed. I'm guessing this undershirt was found in some kind of what do you call them, like a Goodwill or something. So she does a little bit of shopping around with the spare change she finds or pilfers. Her formal attire, didn't want to be overly formal, just a straight little dress. Again, something she probably could have picked up somewhere for not too much. Or borrowed from a friend and never given back, which is more likely the case. So this is her formal wear. Again, wearing her mom's necklace, which is a ruby, so I can assume that was her mom's birth date. And cute little pair of shoes.
Dag.
I didn't change her hairstyle for any of these either. I thought just going with what's natural. This is her sleepwear, which is just way too cute for somebody living outside. I absolutely adore it. But pardon the clicking noises as well. I was unable to make my microphone be loud enough and remove the clicking, so I'll work with the sound a little bit in the background. But for now, it's going to be there. I also will have to disable, I think, some sounds in my game. So anyway, this is her sleepwear. I'm not sure where she got all the awesome jewelry. I'm guessing they're things of her mother's that she was unable to part with, which is the most likely point. So, and then this is her workout gear. Smart little outfit there. She likes the boy shorts, apparently. You've seen her swimwear, but I'll go back into it real quick. I think the red is a really great choice on her. And I love the little sash. So, I don't know, the colors I think work on her as well.
Rafia.
And her outerwear, which it's not going to be fun being homeless in winter, but I'm going to set the seasons to complete normal seasons, so there will be winter. It might be, yeah, I don't know, we'll have to see how long it takes for her to be outside. So her family is just herself, and she is, like I said, she's a young adult, so she's just old enough to go to university, and I'm going to enable aging, which is a bit rare for me for one of these games as well. I usually don't play with aging on. I kind of play for my own pleasure and not to show other people. But this is a journey that I'd like to have with others, and so we'll just have to go from there. So basically, I'm going to get her into a house and cheat her down to 0 money, and I'm going to attempt not to cheat very much after that unless she's stuck or something else is going on. She can't afford this furnished. Well, that's an actual house, so we just want a plot of land, right? There's a lot. And eventually she could probably build a house on it, so I'll want something that she can build into. It would be wonderful if it became a success story. This one's got I have to terraform this one. Look at that land. It's horrible. That's not happening. Alright, trusted tenement. I'm looking for lot size, actually. I want a pretty decent sized lot that I can completely get rid of. Okay, I'm gonna live there when I have a lot of money. That place looks awesome. Everland Apartments. Man, that's really nice. Too bad she can't live in a home. Alright, she's gonna live close to the middle of the city. I think this works out nicely. We're gonna go ahead and purchase that. And jump right into living there. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be enabling this. I'm going to go ahead and say no to story progression. Again, trying not to cheat. I use that for one of my other, not even Let's Plays, it's just one of my, check out your new smartphone. Right, so NRAS story progression is not for the faint of heart, so I'm not going to enable it. If you guys want to find out more about it, of course she's always got her phone. Something else she can't get rid of. Alright, so let's see what we have. Ugh, I hate having the diploma sitting around. So she's got no money left, and I'm going to go ahead and go to family funds. Eldritch, and we'll go to 0. So she's got no money whatsoever, and then we're going to sell her camera. So she's got, assumably, what she had, what she's able to have from, I'm going to move this out of the way because I'm sure she'll be getting mail, but let's make the little mail girl walk out of the way for it. Oh, and the trash. We'll put them together. Alright, I love home building, so I want to get to the point where I can build a house, but again, until she has a degree and probably a full-time job, I'm not going to let her start building a house. She's going to be able to steal things and sell them, but she won't have a place really to hide bigger items, so we'll have to be careful with that. And some things that you need to build a house are impossible to steal. I had tried at one point to create, have somebody just completely steal their entire house, and it turned out that things like countertops or sinks, like actual, I almost want to say hardware, but essentially plumbing in that is really difficult to steal. You might come away with a toilet, but not really a sink. It's really weird. They always take the lights first and stuff. I've only played with kleptomaniacs a couple times. They're just an absolute riot, and I cannot wait. And she's one of my favorite Sims I've created randomly in a long while. And I really like whatever this neighborhood is that I can't identify with. But, okay, so I'm going to get her settled, buy her a couple things, and then we're going to enroll in university. But that was our intro. There's a house we could own one day, right? She's also going to get to know her neighbors, and as soon as she has enough lifetime happiness points, I'm going to buy her inappropriate but in a good way, which is right here at 5,000. Usually the first thing I'll buy a sim is bladder control or something like that, but this is very much worth it because that means she could visit a neighbor, become friends with them, and eventually just eat out of their fridge. So that's the kind of life that she's going to want to do, is be able to just snack and not spend money. And she will be going to business school because of her traits. Again, hovering over them. She can go outside and get some things done outside. Gatherer, same thing, just makes more sense for her being outside. She's not going to plant anything. Catching insects and harvesting plants in general, though that means she'll be better at it if she needs to. She is perceptive. This is the one trait I would like to keep of all the others if anything changes. Charismatic, this is great for business. And I think perceptive was great for business. Kleptomaniac, well, I think that takes effect as soon as the sun goes down, and she has until 3 in the morning or something like that to steal, so... Oh, and here's this guy. Yep, good to see you, buddy. Great to see you. Maybe I can be his friend, go to his house and steal stuff. Yeah, we need to go to university anyway, so we'll talk to him. Alright, like I said, I'm going to buy her a tent and a few other things, and I'm going to pause the recording here in a little bit. She's going to go talk to this guy. What's his name? His name's Chat. Bryce Deal. Bryce Deal. Could be a boyfriend in there. You never know. It's a jock. I don't know. She's not athletic. She looks athletic, but she's not. So we're going to go ahead and pause this, and I'll jump back in when she's ready to start living her life. She's going to take the university test. Oh yeah, I should have left her money enough to gather. Oh, you know what she'll have to do is gather and pilfer items so that she can afford to go to university. So we'll have her take the test and find out how much it's going to cost, and then she's got to scrounge together resources and run around this neighborhood, which I've never been to before, and make a couple of friends in order to stay on some lots late enough to take a couple of cars or something so that she can afford to go to university. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll see you again in a bit.